Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we have this Asus laptop. This is an Asus M70vr notebook. It was released in 2008 and features an Intel Core 2 Duo T5800 at 2 GHz, 3 GB of DDR2 RAM, a 250 GB hard drive, and a Radeon Mobility HD3470 GPU, which powers a 17-inch 1440 by 900 LCD on this laptop. Today we'll be finding out if this laptop is still usable in 2020. Alright, first off we'll unbox the laptop. Well, by unboxing I mean taking it out of the plastic bag I got it in since I picked this laptop up. The first thing that I noticed is the weight. This is a pretty heavy laptop at almost 4 kilograms. Alright, the first thing I always do is cleaning the thermal paste, and this laptop is no exception. The full tutorial is up on my other channel, link to the videos in the description, but I'm just going to speed it up a bit. Alright, with the cooling fan cleaned and the thermal paste replaced, it's time to give the laptop a good clean since I don't know where it's been and I'd rather leave it that way. And with the laptop now fully cleaned, it's time to see if it still powers up. I say still because I had seen it working off camera before. The charging light comes on, this is good news. And yes, the laptop boots right up to a password-locked version of Windows Vista. Ah well, I wasn't going to use Vista anyway. Now that we know that the laptop boots, let's have a look around. Alright, let's first have a look at the ports. On the front side we can see two vents. On the left we have two USB 2.0 ports, a Firewire port, a SD card slot and a DVD reader. On the right we have a PCMCIA Express slot, a SPDIF port, an audio jack, a microphone jack and two more USB 2.0 ports. And on the back we have the power connector, an opening for the fan, an HDMI port, an eSATA port, a VGA port, a modem port, an Ethernet port and an opening for a lock. Alright, let's have a look at the touchpad. The touchpad on this laptop is unique. When the correct drivers are installed, it has the same functions that the function key has. This laptop also has two speakers above the keyboard and a subwoofer underneath, something I've never seen before on a laptop. Alright, now on to the keyboard. On this laptop the H key was missing, so I replaced it with the dash key, because you have two of those and I barely use that key anyway. Another neat thing that this laptop has is this camera that can rotate 180 degrees. And lastly, we can't forget about the fingerprint reader. I think this is also a nice thing to have, but I've seen it in other high-end laptops from about the same period. Alright, let's put a usable OS on this laptop. Like always, I chose Windows 10 since all the programs work and since it runs quite nice on older systems nowadays. So, let's install it. Alright, and with Windows 10 installed, it's time to wait even more and install all the programs. And finally, with all that done, we can start testing the laptop. First off, we have regular web browsing on the latest version of Chrome. This works quite nicely, albeit a little slow when loading pages, but sites like Reddit, Amazon and eBay works perfectly. Alright, and now on to some benchmarks. First off, we have user benchmark, which showed that this laptop is best used for regular work, and it showed that all the components were either performing above expectations or way above expectations. Alright, next up is Heaven on the high quality preset. This gave us an average FPS of 1.6 and a score of 40. Pretty bad. Alright, next up we have YouTube, which was watchable in 720p. This laptop is great for watching YouTube. Alright, it's time to test the keyboard. In my opinion, the keyboard was fine and it was great to type on. The keys were a good distance apart and I made almost no errors because of it. Alright, and now for some games. First off, we have Minecraft at these settings, which I would say are the low settings, in 1440 by 900 resolution. This game ran fine and gave an average FPS of 32, with 1% lows of 6 FPS and 0.1% lows of 2 FPS. This is definitely a playable game. Next up we have ROBLOX at the lowest settings in 1440 by 900 resolution. This game ran fine with an average FPS of 21, with 1% lows of 5 FPS and 0.1% lows of 1 FPS. This game is also playable. Alright, let's move on to some more demanding 3D titles. First up we have Euro Truck Simulator 2 running at the lowest settings in 1440 by 900 resolution, and this was not very playable. We got an average FPS of 13 with 1% lows of 2 FPS and 0.1% lows of 1 FPS. Not very playable if you ask me. Alright, next up we have BeamNG Drive. Sadly, this game could not run since this laptop doesn't have DirectX 11. Next up we have Bus Simulator 16, which tried to launch, but every time I tried to load into a game, it would crash. Alright, now on to PC Building Simulator, which wasn't very playable. At the lowest settings in the 1440 by 900 resolution, we got an average FPS of 2 with 1% and 0.1% lows of 1 FPS. Really not playable. And last up we have Fortnite. Sadly, Fortnite would also not launch because of DirectX limitations. Since this laptop has a working battery, I had a look at how long it would keep a charge. This battery was very impressive because after a full 1 hour and 50 minutes of web browsing, the battery finally died. Not too bad for an old laptop with the original battery installed. Alright, and with that, this video comes to an end. Now my conclusion. Would I recommend this laptop? Well, yes and no. It's still pretty impressive what it can do, and it's definitely fine for web browsing and lighter games, but it's definitely nearing the end of its useful lifespan, with more and more programs not supporting it. But hey, what do you expect from a 12-year-old laptop? Alright, and with that, this video comes to an end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!